Back in your health news this morning, in the first week of the new Trump administration, the country's more than 2 million federal workers were hit with rapid fire announcements that longtime job protections and telework were suddenly being revoked. Well, experts say it's really a trying time right now, with more companies making mass cuts and layoffs as well. This can truly affect your mental health. Joining us this morning is Tori Dixon of Graceful Counseling. Good morning to you, Tori.
Good morning, Cleo. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Let me tell you, this is right on brand for me right now. Let's jump into this. What mental health impacts can someone expect, I guess, during some sort of transition after maybe facing job loss? And how can people process them in a healthy way?
Yeah, the first thing I'd like to say as a mental health counselor is I am sorry for your loss. I think the first thing that we oftentimes feel when we face job loss is grief,
Yeah.
right? Everything that comes along with grief, the denial, the anger, the depression, the bargaining, and then trying to find that space where you are accepting that now you are in transition and it's time for you to make another decision about what's going to be ahead for you. So if you're feeling some sadness, if you're maybe even feeling loneliness and a little bit of being ostracized as a part
hmm
of a layoff, I have good news for you. There is hope.
Listen, and I think it's okay to feel that way as well. That's one part of it. But Tori, how do you move forward? When do you begin to move forward?
Well, I think you move forward right after you take a rest. I think for many people, we want to jump right into the next thing and saying, okay, well, I got laid off. So let me just jump right into the next thing. And I'm going to ask you to please take a rest and halt.
Okay.
And you are not to make a decision if you're hungry, if you're angry, if you're lonely, or if you're tired. So 9 times out of 10, you just probably need to take a minute and then start asking yourself some questions. What skills have I gained as I was working for this employer? How were my strengths developed? What areas of growth can I see from the time that I started this position up until now? And how do I pivot into the next opportunity? Let me encourage you that every beautiful beginning starts with a necessary ending. So if your situation at your job is ending now, I
Yeah.
need you to look forward to a beautiful beginning that's going to happen just around the corner for you.
Okay, I'm definitely doing that. I'm looking at the new chapter and the new beginning, but how do
Yeah.
you start to reframe your mind into seeing this as another awesome opportunity, a new beginning, like you said?
Yeah, I think the first thing you do is you don't try to push down those negative thoughts. You go ahead and address them face on. And then you give yourself permission to kind of look forward, to change your mind about where you are, to give yourself permission to look about where you're going. And then
Yeah.
here's another thing, Cleo, like that personal branding, right? Now that you are going into a new space, you get the opportunity to set the bar for your own personal values as you're moving forward into your next employer so that you can know exactly what's going to work for the life that you have now, not the one that you had when you started your job 4 or 5 years ago, or maybe
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago. There have been so many changes in your life. So before you start to professionally rebrand, you probably want to personally rebrand and ask yourself questions like, what's important to me now as I'm moving forward into my next, so that I can make sure that my next opportunity is fitting the life that I have now and not the life that I had before I started my
Oh, I
previous
really
job.
like that, the personal rebranding. Tori, before we go
Yeah.
here, we were just talking about the new administration and I guess the scare that a lot of federal workers are under. I mean, many have been at their job for decades. I guess, how do you start to set goals for that next opportunity?
Well, I think the first thing that you do is just give yourself permission to take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Some of the things that the administration is doing right now, it's still probably going to be under, there's going to be lawsuits and other things that's going to ensue. So just
Yeah.
give yourself permission to wait until the dust settles before you make a decision. And just know that this is not the end for you. You can refresh your LinkedIn, you can update your resume, attend a networking events, develop a
hmm
personal brand, and set some really achievable goals. I want you to remember, especially if you've been working as a federal employee for many, many years, your biggest resource is your relationships. So leverage your relationships as you are attempting to move forward. They are going to be your biggest asset in your next decision.
Tori, you were on point this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. A
Thank
pleasure
you
to
so
have
much,
you.
Clea.
Okay.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for everything that you've done for us
Ma'am,
for the
you are
last seven
amazing.
years
Thank
in
you.
North Texas. Thank
Thank
you. Thank you.
you.
Thank you. We love you.
Thank you so much. Don't make me cry. All right, the time